what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the 2025 MLS season. I'm joined by the greats, Jorge Martinez from The Exchange and Steve Pontecorvo, TMV Clothing. To me, how is it
Yo,
feel to
man,
be back, my friend?
good first week. Before we start, I want to give a big shout out to Tony Miola. He suffered a heart attack on Friday. I think it was Friday, right? It's a Saturday. So, prayers up to Tony Miola. I just saw him like 2 weeks ago. So I was like, what the hell? Like, it was odd. But back, MLS first week, it was good. I got to see my boy Steve at Veritage. Big
Go ahead,
Steve
Steve,
over
'cause
there.
I was
What
gonna
up?
ask
What
you
up?
guys.
What up, boys? We're back already. Feels good to be back. It feels not too long ago that we were just in the MLS Cup though, and we were just setting everything up, and we were still getting over the loss and going through that. But yeah, like off the back of what Jorge was saying, feel better, big tone. I came to a big surprise to me. When we saw him, he looked healthy and strong. So we know he'll get through it, and yeah, just all prayers to him and his family right now. But yeah, man, I'm pumped to be back. I just hope the teams are fucking ready because I'm fucking ready. And hey, we got some unfinished business left. Come on, we need another cup. We need some more trophies. It's New York, god damn it.
Oh,
Let's go.
100%. I
Yo,
love that. I love that energy. Steve and Jorge, just tell me what was the experience like to be back with the fans at Veritage?
Oh man, it was amazing. Honestly, it was my first time. I mean, I went there just once last year, which was a mistake on my part. Just kind of getting back into the swing of being in the South Ward a lot. That's where I was I attended a decent amount of games, but being there, like away from home now, like having that for away matches, it's really big for the club. I
yo,
think
you
I think watch out, Rebels might end up being in there. They might put some guys in there one of these days. You never know.
you know it's wild that they also got the Juventus Club of New Jersey
Yep.
made that
Saw that. I saw that.
yeah, headquarters, which is pretty dope. He has a couple good things happening, but it was a good crowd there. It would have been better if they won.
Yeah,
So let's get
100%.
into that. Let's get into that because the New York Rebels were coming into the first game after a tough 6 loss against San Diego FC in preseason. So we knew that we had to be alert. I was expecting a better defensive performance, and I think we saw that throughout the game. Just what did you guys make out of the first game for the Rebels?
Steve, you want to start?
Yeah, I can go. I mean, I thought it was okay. It was to be expected. We'd be a little tentative. A 0-0, wouldn't have been the worst. But I mean, we didn't threaten too much. There was a couple bad calls. I mean, but you can't rely on that. So the Rebels didn't really make too much happen aside from that Chupamoatang back heel. And in that chance with Lewis Morgan too, he got kind of clipped in the box and then he was able to shoot it while he was on the ground. I don't know. VAR didn't really look at that. So there was the odd chance here and there, and even same for Cincinnati. It was really choppy play from both teams. So to be expected in the home opener, kind of get back into the groove of things. We started off this way last year, and pretty sure we started off with a draw, and it wasn't pretty either. So these games are always wishy-washy the first game of the season.
I I think the one part that everybody's skipping over, and you're skipping over too, just like it happened in the playoffs, Emil Forsberg has to bury it. He hits the post again, started the season the way he ended the season. I think that he needs to finish those chances that he has. Um, I thought defensively, I thought the goal was a little suspect. We all know that the refereeing was terrible. Um, but the guy that I good was Chopa. I thought
Chupamoting?
that
Well, the
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is, the thing is maybe here and going off of, putting a lot on Emil's shoulders. I think maybe this is why Chupo's here. So that way we're not just looking for Emil to be that creative guy in the middle and score the goals. Because I think one of his highest goal tallies was in 2023, he scored like 9 or 10 goals. So he's not like, I don't know if he's going to get us double digit
Oh,
goals.
1,000,000%. A
You know
million
what I mean?
percent.
We need
Yeah.
Chupo. And that's kind of why it was like, dude, Dante had fucking, what was it, one goal or something? It was something abysmal. So we were like, dude, we just need anything from that 9 position, and hopefully Chupo can obviously do way better than what Van Zayer's numbers were halfway through the season. Plus with Manuel, that's the hope. Now and that's not all. So that way, if Emil's even out of the lineup, as long as we can give Chupo some service, we'll be able to win some games.
And against FC Cincinnati, you can tell that there was skill, but there was also some rustiness in there that we probably couldn't see his top level. But going back to the game, just wanted to ask you, were you surprised by the structure? Were you surprised by going with that 3-man back line, the 3-4-3? Is that something that caught you by surprise, or perhaps you wanted to see something different?
Not really.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm on the same boat. I think what we saw is what we should have expected with what we have, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
tested out was Valencia on that left, which I don't think any of us who was watching in that bar really knew much about Valencia's game. So that was kind of, we were just seeing that as it unfolded, and some of the defensive plays weren't that great. I mean, having to play in that position myself, it is a tough position at times, but he was good going up the field though. He was like pushing the ball up, but some of those like clearances where it just like, Poppy, you just need to get the ball out.
I love Noah coming up. Like Noah got a little crazy towards the end. Like I saw him like almost like a JMI used to do. I dig that, and
He tried.
like this is I think that if they work on that, and he could do 75 to 80 to 90, I mean, he could be a savage. Like I mean, I think he has potential.
A lot of people were complaining that obviously Noah mentioned that he feels more comfortable dribbling on the left. He's playing on the right so he can make space for Alexander Hack. But a lot of people were also mentioning, what about Dylan Nealis? Are we going to leave him on the bench when he was one of the best defenders last year? What did you guys think of that?
I think one of these guys are going to have to. I'm not going to say fuck up, but they're going to have to not be up to par. So we'll see him back, I think. But also, just like we've been asking, and I asked Sandro at the press conference, the first one, there's a lot of games.
Yes.
So, like, you need the depth. So, like, if right now it isn't, he'll be starting in another tournament. And, we know how that goes.
You could be starting in game 9. Who knows, what happens throughout the season with injuries and stuff too. We just need the depth.
So
and that's
probably
why we'll add one more person too.
So probably Sandro is giving him the benefit of the doubt, giving Alex Hack the benefit of the doubt to play on that position, and then just kind of forcing him.
Nepotism. It's nepotism.
And we got to see. We got to see what works well. Honestly, we got to see what gels. Maybe Dylan comes in and we gel really good because it's Dylan and Sean, and then Noah, Nahal have a cohesive understanding.
Yep.
Once they get all on the same page, it's going to be like Hack is just going to be that guy who rotates in and out. If there's an injury, a yellow card or red card, whatever it might be.
Yeah, and just going back to also what you mentioned with Omar Valencia and the defensive line, I think having that back three, at least from the first half, you can tell that they stay solid, they stay compact. They weren't, at least FC Cincinnati wasn't able to penetrate them in any type of way, like either with long balls or through the middle. Although Evander was on something else, man. I thought he was going to take some time for him to adjust to a new system, but he was dribbling through our defense, not Megan, Daniel Edelman, Peter Stroud, like everybody who was in front of him. But I think that's going back to what I said. We remained solid, at least for the first 70 minutes of the match, till we made that mistake. But I did like the defensive performance.
But maybe the person that we're kind of skimming over that comes out is Omar Valencia.
Okay.
Maybe that was like a let's see situation.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got 2 of those almost right now debuting on the field. We got a lot of let's see. This might be a work in progress until we can figure out what's our best starting lineup with 2 starters gone from last year, because we got Chupo now. And we got the big hole in the left side of the field, which is, I'm assuming, Morales' spot. but I don't know when he'll be back. So he might not even be back for the home opener. He might not be ready until game 4 or 5.
I have a question for you guys, because how weird is it that our new signings who have been at home for the past 2-3 months are injured for the first game?
Yeah.
I think Bogax was out with a back injury, and then a knee injury, Marcelo Morales, who's supposed to be our number one left back. And then
Sergeant Goma.
Yeah, Sergeant Goma, who usually has been struggling with injuries the last couple of years with the team.
Who else was that? Was Kyle Duncan on there?
Kyle Duncan was there too.
Yeah, he was on there.
Yeah, that's to be expected. Kyle needs a little time. He was coming back from surgery.
Correct. So that we kind of knew that we still haven't received much information on Kyle Duncan. But yeah, it's a little disappointing that our new signings were not playing. But I think what you said, Jorge, it's the same. It's like the Red Bulls did what they could with what they had, and I think that Cam Harper had a couple of opportunities as a wing back. There was an option as well to go with Dennis Jengar, but I think having Cam Harper as a right wing back gives you the opportunity to have somebody who can dribble and cross the ball or take a shot. And I think he did that a lot in the game, at least for the first half. And there was I think there were some connections that weren't really happening. And where I saw the team struggle was with our DPs. Well, specifically Emil Forsberg. I think he lost the ball a couple of times, and he really didn't feel comfortable at times during the game. So
I don't think
wasn't
he's 100%.
able to dictate that, right?
Wait, who is 100%?
Emil Forsberg. I don't think he's 100%.
Yeah.
He didn't look 100% to me. I mean, just in terms of technical ability, I expected a little bit more, but he was losing the balls, and I think there was one dangerous counter from FCC.
How much did he play in preseason?
He played for the most part. He started most games. He started, and then obviously they changed him after 45 minutes.
Yeah, see, if he wasn't healthy, I don't know why he would be going in those games, though.
Right. So I don't understand if something happened perhaps the week leading to the first game, but Sandro did say he would have preferred to have 6 weeks of preseason instead of 5. So
if you want that, then don't go to the finals.
No. This is a first.
Right?
This is also a first. This is a first. You got to. It's like a trick. It's like a trickle effect. Now we're gonna see, because last year we got off to a decent start. This year, let's not panic. But if we get off to a rough start, we might just need some time to figure some things out. Which I hope not. I don't think we.
It's the MLS. Everybody makes the playoffs, bro.
Exactly. So that's at the end of the day. That's all that matters.
That's it, man. Supporter Shield does dick. You got to win the whole thing.
The first game last year, I think it was 0-0, 2 or 1-1. So, we just got to.
They opened up last year against Houston, and it was 1-1.
Yeah, it was.
Am I right?
It was definitely a draw. If it was not
it Nashville,
it was Nashville.
No, it was Nashville.
And it was 0-0. I'm pretty sure.
Houston was when Forsberg came. I mean, Morgan came back and scored that banger.
Yes, that was the second game. Yes.
Yeah,
which I called, by the way.
And I think Lewis had a couple of shots. Let's talk about the first half and what happened with Lewis with that penalty call. What did you guys make out of that?
That's a call. How do you not even go to the VAR?
Yeah, the VAR didn't even tell him to look at it,
right?
So
yeah,
didn't even get past VAR. Didn't get to the ref. They did a check, and then the check was clear. And then
I think if he doesn't try to shoot it from the ground, they do.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I think the fact that he tried to shoot it from the ground, he was like he gave himself up. He should have, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So from what I gather from Lewis Morgan was that the reason why they didn't give it a penalty was because they called the play offside. And Lewis was adamant in the press conference to say that he wasn't. And that VAR should have probably made a bigger effort to send the referee, like you said, Steve, to look at the screen, check for a possible offside or not offside, and then also look at the foul, because everybody in the stadium can agree that was a penalty shot. Sorry, that was a penalty call. It does change the game. but this is part of the game. We've been here before. We've gotten calls in our favor. We gotten calls against us. Uh, it's just simple things. I think we can't just focus on the penalty. I think I will go back to the triple moting back heel, which he probably could have done a little bit better.
Yeah.
But then
And nobody got time for that.
yeah, yeah, and then Lewis did have a couple opportunities in the second half, which is something I would like to see more of. Just getting that shot off, from long range or inside the box. I think I would love to see more of that from Lewis. I mean, he's one of our most technical players, so I think that's gonna be important. Any
And he
other?
just got the bag. And he just got the bag.
He just
Stay
got
here.
the.
He just got the bag to stay here. So like, you got it now, right? Like you
He
asked
should be
for this
happy.
money. You gotta now. You gotta make it happen.
Did any other calls for you guys were some, were you considered questionable?
In the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's the one that really sticks is that penalty.
Yeah,
Um,
there was a few challenges. He was kind of letting everything go,
but I
honestly.
think it started like that because I remember somebody making a comment like, if you're gonna let that start right now, and I think it was early in the game, you're gonna let it go all game.
Yep.
So if he started off like shit, the ref, that's what we got.
Until somebody breaks the leg.
Pretty much.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. It's the worst because you know what the thing is. It's like you let the first one go, now you got to let them all go.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
that's what I brought it up because I did think that Obina and Wobodo, which has for me, I'm actually surprised that he wasn't off in the first half or the second half, because he did have some crazy challenges, studs going through players' legs, um, rough challenges throughout the midfield, and I didn't see a yellow for those fouls. He got a yellow for dissent, which is drives me insane because there were so many opportunities where he could have been called for either a red card or a couple of yellows. So I think that was, to me, what stuck out even more than the penalty. Because when you don't have a player, an important player like him in the game, I think it opens up the opportunity for Rebels to score and probably win the game. But that's something that should be
but they
reviewed.
had opportunity. They had their own
Yeah.
opportunities even without that. So like,
Okay.
Yeah. And that's
you
what
have to finish.
That's what Chupo does, though. He's a flashy forward. If I watched some more of his games. That's what he tries to do. Yes, he should turn and shoot there, but he likes to do a 1-2 touch. If he's in the six, he just tries to, get it on net anyway, anyhow. But obviously, that was not the best option. Um, I'm hoping Lewis to Chupo will become a thing soon,
How,
and hopefully Emil will get some rest.
I wanted to ask you, how important can Chupo be for the team?
Massive, massive. Because if we can get him going, if we can get service, and we have the wingers to do it. So we have Dennis, we have Cam, we have Lewis. So there's no reason why we can't get crosses in, and he can just not head the ball
Yeah, he's big,
on right.
man.
Yeah, we
He's
need to get.
big.
And I didn't see a lot of that. We had a couple corners, but our corners were pretty poor. But now also on dead balls, you got to remember because J-Ma used to take some of them. And even though our buddy Joao over at Crossover said that losing J-Ma won't be a big thing, I mean, on dead balls and on free, set pieces,
That's our DNA.
J-Ma puts in a good ball, and that's who put in the ball to get us to the, MLS Cup final. So, and it's just, I saw it was Omar Valencia over the ball and Emil Forsberg. So pretty much it's just Emil
Yeah,
Forsberg.
but ML did it a lot last year too.
Yeah.
No. So now it's
Yeah.
Forsberg just taking all dead ball situations and corner kicks.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. But you know
it's
what though? I would take that because I mean you have big bodies in there, and like Chopa's a big guy, so like you have a bunch of defensemen, and you got another bigger guy in there. The smallest guy in the mix at that time would probably be like a Carballo or who else is over there that's small? Harper, but like for the most part,
right. Who
there's
can
some
whip the
height in
ball
there.
in? Yeah. Just
I
trying to.
I like Chupo's ability, like you said, to hold the ball and deterrence. Like nobody could stop him. He had to be fouled in order
Yeah.
to actually get the ball away from him. What I did notice was that in the 1v1s he was struggling. I think he's probably just getting to adjust to MLS because the defenders could be physically strong. They could be a little bit faster than him. Remember, he's 35, but if he makes those adjustments, which is something that Dante Vencier struggled with, he also had problems with the 1v1s. I think he will be lethal. What I don't like about our system is that they're making Chupo run to every ball, like on either side of the field. And I think that's what drives me crazy because
Yeah, well, that's what we're gonna miss Elias Manuel, because someone like that could just run all over the field, run, but he didn't have the finishing touch, right?
good
Oh,
point.
but he was the worst.
But hey, take it easy. We miss him. He missed.
Yo, I remember one day there was a net, dude. From my seat in the press, I could have scored from my seat, and he was right in front. Him, the ball, and the entire net, and he somehow missed it. And I'm like, how does that happen? How does that happen to a paid professional footballer? Like a guy with no legs could have rolled the ball, his body into the ball.
Well, now I got to know what game this is.
There were some.
Dude,
there were some.
I want to say dude. I off the top of my head, I can't think of it.
You got to give me one. You got to.
I gotta.
Later after this episode, send me one. Send me one.
Yeah, no,
dude, there was a ton, but there was like
there
was someone I was like, oh my god, did you just miss that? And I remember like people in the stadium and in the air like, what just happened? Like, how does an athlete miss that?
Yeah, and
we're hoping Chupo, can at least be a little bit better, lethal. But yeah, he doesn't have the legs like Elias did. But that's all the point I was trying.
But you know what? We all said that. We like, if you brought somebody in, we've all said it, in conversation. If you bring somebody in who can finish half of what those guys missed, you'll be all right.
Yes.
Right? You need a finisher that's going to finish maybe a little more than half of what those guys missed, Dante and Elias.
Yeah.
It got so bad towards the end where, Dante was on the bench. You were benching your DP. So, what? Listen, I thought, and I said it, that I thought going into this year he was going to have a good year, but he was over New York. New York was over him. I mean, Jersey was over him. He was over Jersey, and he left. Yeah. But I thought he was in to do something really good this year because he showed what he was supposed to do in the playoffs. What he did in the playoffs is why he was brought to Red Bull.
Well, he's doing some good things over there in Belgium now, so he's picking up where he left off.
Yeah, we wish Dante the best. I mean, it worked out. Hey, we got what we needed. Hey, we got what we kind of needed. We got a trip to the finals. We couldn't ask any more than that. If you told me that we were gonna make it to the finals with Dante, I would have been like, "What?" But hey, we did it somehow. So, hey, that's all you can really hope for is to get to that last game.
Guys, can I ask you, what do you think about these guys celebrating second place for opening day?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
After the game. I'm sorry. After we speak about the game. But before we're gonna wrap it up with the game. But any players that stood out for you guys against FCC?
Not too entirely. I mean, I
wasn't a good game.
I was. I mean, like I said, it wasn't. No, it wasn't the best game. It was a classic MLS, bad performance for both teams. I thought even our goal, giving up that goal, was shoddy.
So I said that. That's a
soft just a miscommunication, whatever it might be in the back. Cornell coming out, just a dink header over Denke, their newest signing, Johnny on the spot. I mean, that's what you need. Honestly, I would love for Chupo to do something of the same sort. I knew there'd be a goal in the game. I just didn't know which way it was going to go. That's kind of all I was looking for. And I was looking at Valencia pretty much.
Okay.
And Chupo. He didn't do too bad, but that's about it.
I like that. I like that you guys went to the bad thing first to pick your player. But okay, I like Valencia too. What about you, Jorge? You were going to say something.
Yeah, I thought so my dud of the game was probably Forsberg. I think he needs to finish that. I think he needs to finish that shot that he had. He hit the post just like he did in the final.
Yeah.
Dude, I told somebody, I'm like, if he hits that one in the final, right? Dude, they build a statue of him and Harrison. You just tied it. You are going. You just did it. What you're brought here to do. You know.
Well, if they go on and win it, 2-2. The game's not over yet. But hypothetically, I know what you mean.
For that one, I thought that also another person that I thought was bad was Edelman. I thought he wasn't great.
Wow.
Just a bad performance altogether.
I mean, I'm looking at the ratings too. They gave them nobody had a really good rating. They honestly, the person who has the highest rating is Choupo-Moting.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. Everyone else struggled. Carballo came in, made so we know he's not even 100%. So we got. So that's what I'm saying with this. Before I want to rehash is that this squad of pool of players has never experienced a deep playoff run. It's always been a first round and out. So for now, they've finally experienced that. They've had a short break. Some of the players still been training and playing. I know rest is they're pros. They got to get over it. But this is a thing that happens. Your body doesn't give enough rest. You got to, get your blood flowing again. It takes a little while. That's why
these guys are older.
Exactly. They got more miles on them. And it's an emotional weight too. That was not that long ago. So I know their feeling is like, wow, I want to almost just get right back to there. And really, we got to almost start right over. So it's a tough place to be. And we got guys who aren't 100%. Carballo told us in your interview with the South Ward, he was only 85% ready. And he's getting thrown in there as a sub. We see how much we get from him. And, it's all right. But
only 2 substitutions though, right? Sandro only did 2 substitutions.
And Wiki Carmona and Julian Hall made it.
Oh, so 3. Okay.
Happy birthday, Wiki. Today's Wiki's birthday. No, I just saw.
Is it?
I think I saw.
I think so.
Happy birthday, Wiki. Happy birthday, Wiki.
Dennis Jangard too.
WikiLeaks.
And happy birthday, Dennis. And we saw Julian Hall with the new haircut.
Oh, dude, I tried to get him to do a haircut show, and he was like, "Oh, I'm getting a cut." I didn't think he was gonna do that.
Yo, shout out Julian Hall. He's gonna be the super sub. Our boy Julian Hall,
the young vet, baby, the young vet.
He's saying he's coming off the bench.
I hope he gets some minutes. I hope
he's learning a lot with Choupo-Moting. So, just going back to the question. Obviously, I think there were some positive, like Omar Valencia for me too was special. Even though it was his first game, there were some mistakes here and there, but I think he showed grit. He showed a backbone to play in a hostile environment like TQL. So props to him for that. In regards to the bad thing that happened, yes, you have to go back to Alexander Hack, because I feel like Kevin Denke just bodies him a little bit, and that's enough for him to make space to go after that ball, and then Carlos Coronel hesitates. That's true, but I think Alexander Hack could have been a little bit better, a little bit stronger against the shoulder-to-shoulder play against Kevin. But, these are things that he will need to adjust. Like I said, I think Sandro is giving him the benefit of the doubt now, because maybe he knows him. He's German. He's coached him before. So he's like, here, I'm giving you the first games to show what you got. But eventually, for me, if you were to ask me, the backline, like you said, Jorge, at the beginning, it would be Noah Isla, Sean Ellis, and Dylan Ellis. I think for me, that is the most efficient. We will see. I'm not the coach. I'm not getting paid, but we're throwing it in the lineup. And then just lastly, we're going to go against Nashville next week. Anything that you're hoping, any changes that you want to see for that game?
I want to see Noah attack from a little earlier in the game.
Okay.
Bring that, bring a little bit of a defensive tactic bring him up a little bit so he could score. That's what I think we need to see a little bit. We need to see that a little bit earlier, because the intensity changed when that happened. In the second half, when he started coming up, it started to get a little messier in there, and you might need to get that. That's what I would do.
He's so good at dribbling too that he's, adjusting to doing it from the right, but he can do it. I see that. Yeah. What about you, Steve?
I mean, depending on injuries, I don't know if we're going to see anybody come off that injured list, but I think that's a lot of maybe we're missing that speed or those legs, and like Serge Goma, Morales, I mean, even Kyle did a lot of running. I'm looking for our wing backs to, like I said, really start swinging in those crosses and Chupo heading the ball and hitting the post and it going in the net. That's what I want to see.
I
Yeah.
just watched the goal again. Yeah, that's such a bad goal.
Yeah,
Carlitos, bro. That's on Carlitos, bro.
yeah, that too. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it
that's not
looked like a
Carlos.
miscommunication, right?
yeah, and I just
Otherwise, that game was ending 0-0. I'm just
yes,
saying, I knew there was a goal in this game. If that doesn't go in, and obviously they still don't call that call on Lewis, that game's ending 0-0. I don't really see Red Bull like.
Yeah, but since he missed a lot of chances too.
Yeah,
at
Wow.
the end though, at
that's
the
what I'm
end, I
saying.
would
We
say
both missed.
more.
Emil hit the post. Emil hit the post since he missed some chances. So that's the first game for you. It happened a year ago, and I'm hoping that this game at home we'll have the crowd behind us. There'll be some energy, and we'll come out firing, and we'll get that first goal, and we'll start rolling from there.
Yeah, and I agree also, just to finish off about the game, I think we were expecting them to do better, which they did. Obviously, we wanted to probably get a point or a win, but the plan was working accordingly until the 70th minute. And then all hell broke loose because we wanted to tie the game. And yes, FC Cincinnati took advantage of that, and they could have scored 2 or 3 goals. That's for sure. So we definitely want to see maybe a little bit more from the attack, like you said, Steve, as well. Maybe more pace. I would love to see once Chupo has the ball, lay it off to somebody so they can make those runs. I think he tried to do that with Cam, but we need a little bit more. Maybe perhaps look for Lewis Morgan, who's always waiting for that pass. And once he gets the ball close range, Lewis is lethal, man. So I think we want to see a little bit more of that. But yeah, moving on to the what was that? Sorry, Steve.
One last thing. Maybe we see Raheem Edwards in this game. That's going to be my surprise pick.
Could be. A lot of people were expecting him.
Yeah, hopefully we see Raheem Edwards. I'm hoping he's 100%. Are we sure Lewis Morgan's 100% too?
He didn't look. He didn't look 100%. Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw that. I don't know, Jorge. That's your friend, man.
Lois did not look 100% to me. There was a few people that didn't look 100% to me.
Well, that's what scares me. We're saying our best players are not 100%. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, 1,000,000%. But I will tell you this. Before we left for the season, going into that last game, his hip was like hanging off of his body.
Yeah.
Like he was
over.
Yeah.
That's why it hasn't been enough time
exactly
to properly get this time off with preseason and training every day. It takes a toll. And
it's
your body
workload, man.
Your body needs the necessary time off. And we know these guys take vacations and stuff, and it looks like it's just all playtime for them. But if they're smart, if they're pros, they want to get better and they know what this game's about. They know how to heal properly. They know how to take care of their bodies when they're not playing, so I hope this, doesn't really affect our start of the season, but I can't see it not really.
Okay, and with that, I have to move on. We got 4 or 5 minutes left.
Wait, I gotta say one thing. That thing.
No. That's why I'm bringing it up. So the new Rebels.
No, it's not even Rebel. Please, my boy Micha, you doing the shoe on fucking Messi?
You know what?
That's it. That's the only time I want to touch on that. On to the next.
I'll leave it to NYCFC to troll people. Obviously, that doesn't.
Yeah. No, that was good. I give him props for that. I wasn't.
Yep.
That went viral, and yeah, man. Look, anything that takes Miami down, dude, they don't look good. I don't expect anything from them this year. And you have what is it called? Micha doing the suit in front of his face, and then Messi at the end of the game grabbing the assistant coach's neck. That's crazy, man. This is the first game.
All right, on to the next.
All right. I'll bring back the topic that you mentioned. So the New Rebels are planning to celebrate the Eastern Conference trophy. Some people are happy with it. Some people are not. So I'm gonna let you have the floor. Your thoughts on, is this something that the team should do.
Okay. All right. But I'm just gonna real quick. I know you're shaking your head, but listen, a lot of teams do this across all sports. Let's start with that. A lot of teams in the NHL, in the NBA, NFL, they hang banners for divisions winnings, which I think are the most ridiculous. I mean, when you win your division, sweet. There's only 4 teams in your division. All right. Whoop-de-doo, you got first place. All right. The 4 other teams were 6 and 10. All right. You could have been 500 for all we know, and you're hanging the division banner. So teams do division banners, which is, I think, even worse, but that's a whole nother topic. So any kind of accomplishment seems like more teams are hanging banners. They're acknowledging these accomplishments because the team works hard. Success is not as prevalent in this area, so maybe they're just trying to get the fans a little bit more riled up. It's all a little gimmicky, yes, so that's why a lot of people don't like it, but teams end up doing it anyway for winning the regular season. They do it, like I said, for winning the division. They end up doing it for winning the conference too. The Rangers did it, the Devils did it. I'm not sure if the Yankees did something, but winning the pennant in baseball. But I know, but winning the pennant in baseball, it's a big deal. Those guys, how about this? Those guys, I mean, they pop champagne after every playoff win. I mean, they beat the Guardians or whatever it was, and they were popping champagne like they won the World Series.
But that's because it's sponsored. That's the business side of it.
I understand, but it's just, this is what I'm all saying, taking things to new heights, or what is an accomplishment or what shouldn't be. But that's just my quick gig. I'll let you take the last minute though. But yeah, I think it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's kind of cool. We haven't won something in a while, so we got to do something.
I think celebrating second place is whack. It sets a crazy standard. You shouldn't be your first loser. Second place is first loser. So, like, really? Nah, I'm not okay with that. Chris, you?
I mean, just to finish it off, I see both sides. I think it's a cultural thing in America, obviously, to celebrate the conference. I respect it. But when they did win it, when they beat Orlando, right there and then, in my head, I was like, don't start celebrating. Don't do anything. As a matter of fact, I want you to be mad. I want you to go angry into this MLS Cup because we haven't won the star yet. I'm expecting the championship. That for me is the goal, and I think that's something that perhaps I'm not used to, but fans in America are.
Yep. And we still give out, trophies for, the supporter shield, but we can honor that, which is great, which they should, because I mean that you win the league, you should win something, right? But if you win the league in NHL, NBA, it doesn't matter, does it? So that's what I'm saying. It varies across each sport. So I know, hey, it's a culture thing, but they honor second place in hockey. They do it too. They have the Rangers just hung a banner. Regular season champions. What was that?
Okay, guy.
Oh man, that was a great topic. Listen, that's why we're gonna get more episodes going. That was a great question to end the episode. I'm gonna pass it to you guys. Obviously, Jorge Martinez from the Exchange, who's doing great things, covering both sides of the river and getting a lot of great interviews with great personalities. So, Jorge, just sign us off, and then Steve, you can close us off as well.
Oh man, guys, follow us at the Exchange FC. Thanks for having me on. Looking to do it again. My boy Steve Austin had the best promo that never happened.
Steve Austin.
That's you, baby.
Well, I'll see you guys next week. 4:00, 5:00 in Harrison, New Jersey. You know where I'll be at. I'm gonna keep it pretty clean. You know what I mean? We might be asking the coach some questions after the game, talking with some players. I'm hoping to celebrate a win and get some 3 points and get off, on a good foot this season. Let's go, defending champs of the East. Let's go, Jorge. Come on.
I got you, kid.
Gotta celebrate with me, man.
I'll see you guys.
316, baby. Let's go. See you guys.
Yo, TMB Clothing. Buy some vintage merch now.